Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a fascinating topic that might just make you look at your loose change in a whole new light. We're diving into the 1996 1-cent coin, often just called the 1996 penny. Is it worth more than its face value? And could it really be worth millions of dollars? Let's explore the surprising world of coin collecting, and you might be shocked at what you could have in your pocket right now. Now, the 1996 penny isn't your typical everyday coin. While most pennies are worth just 1 cent, some coins from certain years and mint marks can be worth a whole lot more, and today, we're going to break down why the 1996 penny is catching the attention of collectors and investors alike. Let's start by understanding the coin's history. The U.S. Mint has been producing pennies since the 18th century, but let's fast forward to 1996. This particular penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and if you look closely, you'll see the D Mint mark right below the date on the coin. It's a detail that helps us track where the coin was produced, and for this penny, it means it was minted in Denver. At the time, the 1996 penny was no different than any other penny you'd find in circulation. It had a face value of just 1 cent, and its copper composition made it a common sight in people's pockets, piggy banks, and coin jars. But here's the thing. Over time, the 1996 penny has grown in value due to a variety of factors. So what exactly makes this coin stand out from the rest? Is it rare? Is it valuable? Well, the short answer is yes, but there's a lot more to it. First, let's talk about the mintage numbers. The 1996 penny was produced in massive numbers, with over 6 billion coins minted in that year alone. So, at first glance, it might seem like this coin is a dime a dozen. However, things get interesting when we look at the condition of the coins and the subtle differences between various mints. Here's where it gets a bit technical. Coin collectors and numismatists, that's just a fancy word for coin experts, often look for minting errors, rare features, and other factors that could affect the value of a coin. In the case of the 1996 penny, one thing collectors look for is high-quality specimens, particularly those that have been well preserved and have minimal wear. If you've got a 1996 penny in near-perfect condition, you might be sitting on something that's worth way more than 1 cent. Now let's talk numbers. A regular 1996 penny in average condition is worth, well, just 1 cent. But hold on, before you discard your coins, let me tell you about the key factors that can push the value of this penny way up. First, there's the condition of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale, ranging from good to mint state. A 1996 penny in mint state, or with an exceptionally good condition, can be worth significantly more than its face value. A coin in great condition could fetch anywhere from $1 to $5, maybe even higher depending on the market. But here's where it gets really interesting. Some 1996 pennies have been known to be worth thousands of dollars, thanks to unique factors like mint errors or exceptional preservation. If you have one of these rare, error coins, the value could skyrocket. For instance, certain minting errors, like a double die or off-center strike, can make your 1996 penny incredibly valuable. There have been reports of collectors paying anywhere from $50 to $500 for a 1996 penny with a noticeable error. And, in extremely rare cases, these coins could even be worth more, especially if they're graded by professional services. Now, let's talk about the crazy headline I'm sure you've seen. $889 million for a penny. Yes, you heard that right. But don't get too excited just yet. The $889 million figure is more of a theoretical value that's based on very specific circumstances. To be clear, number 1996 penny has actually been sold for that amount, yet. The figure comes from a wild scenario where a unique combination of rare minting errors, historical significance, and perfect condition could cause a coin to fetch an astronomical price at an auction. We're talking about theoretically finding a coin that's both historically significant and perfectly preserved, perhaps with a unique error that hasn't been seen before. However, most of us aren't going to find a 1996 penny worth $889 million in our change. But that doesn't mean your pennies are worthless. If you find a mint condition coin, or one with a noticeable error, don't be quick to dismiss it. There's still potential for a decent payday. So what should you do if you think you've found a valuable 1996 penny or any other rare coin? First, make sure to preserve the coin by handling it carefully. Wear gloves to avoid damaging it with oils from your fingers. Then, get it graded by a professional coin grading service. This will determine the condition of your coin, and a good grade can increase its value significantly. If you think you've got a real rare find, consider taking it to a reputable coin dealer or auction house for appraisal. They can give you a realistic value and help you determine the best course of action for selling or keeping your coin. So, while the 1996 penny may not be worth $889 million, there's still a chance that your penny could be worth more than its face value. Who knows? That loose change in your pocket could be hiding something special. Thanks for tuning in today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more cool coin tips and history lessons. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or if you've got a 1996 penny you think might be worth something. Until next time, happy collecting. Next. Today, we've got something really exciting to talk about. The 2008 US 1-cent coin. Now, most people think of pennies as just, well, pennies. But did you know that some pennies can actually be worth a lot more than their face value? That's right. Today, we're going to explore how the 2008 penny could be worth some serious money. And yes, I'm talking about potentially millions of dollars. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just look at your spare change a little differently. Now, before you start thinking that every 2008 penny is worth millions, let's take a step back and dive into the history behind this coin. We'll break down why some 2008 pennies could be worth a lot more than face value, and how certain rare factors could turn these seemingly average pennies into major collectibles. So let's get started. Before we talk about value, let's take a quick look at the history of the 2008 penny. The 2008 1-cent coin was part of the ongoing production of U.S. currency during the second term of President George W. Bush's presidency. The penny, which has been a staple of American currency for centuries, has seen many design changes throughout its history. But what makes the 2008 penny stand out? In 2008, there was no major overhaul in terms of design. The obverse, or front of the coin, still features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This has been the case for over a century, and the design remains largely unchanged since it was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's centennial. However, the reverse of the coin, the side featuring the Lincoln Memorial, was the design that would eventually be phased out in favor of newer designs. That's right, the 2008 penny is part of the last series of pennies to feature the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse before the U.S. Mint introduced new designs starting in 2010. Since the Lincoln Memorial design would soon be replaced, many collectors view the 2008 penny as a bit of a transitional piece in numismatic history, which gives it a unique appeal among coin enthusiasts. But beyond the historical significance, let's explore why these coins could hold value. Now you might be thinking, okay, so it's the last year of the Lincoln Memorial design. Cool, but does that really make my 2008 penny worth anything more than a penny? Well, the answer is yes, but there's more to it than just the design. When it comes to determining the value of a coin, especially pennies, several key factors come into play. Let's break them down. Condition of the coin. First, we have condition. Like all coins, the condition of the 2008 penny can make a huge difference in its value. A penny that's still shiny and uncirculated is definitely going to be worth more than one that's been bounced around in your pocket for years. Coins in mint or uncirculated condition can command prices higher than their face value, sometimes worth a few dollars to collectors. Coins that have been well preserved, with little to no wear, are always in demand. Mintage numbers. Second, the mintage number is key. The 2008 penny was struck in large numbers, but there were still variations depending on which mint it came from. The U.S. Mint produced pennies at the Philadelphia and Denver mints in 2008, and some coins from certain mints could be rarer than others, which affects the coin's value. Errors and varieties. But here's where it gets really interesting. Error coins can be a gold mine for collectors. If your 2008 penny has a minting error, such as a double die, off-center strike, or missing details, you could be looking at a much higher value than face value. Error coins are rare, and collectors are often willing to pay top dollar for them. Now, let's talk about the big number you've probably heard about, $288 million. Could a 2008 penny really be worth that much? Well, the short answer is no. It's unlikely that a 2008 penny will ever sell for that kind of money. But let me explain how this figure might come into play. The $288 million figure is not based on any actual sales of a 2008 penny. Instead, it's a theoretical value that imagines an extremely rare, perfect example of a 2008 penny with a unique set of attributes, perhaps a coin with an exceptionally rare error, perfect condition, and immense historical significance. In these kinds of rare scenarios, the price could reach astronomical levels in a competitive auction among top-tier collectors. To give you a sense of perspective, the $288 million estimate is more of a maximum hypothetical value in a perfect storm of conditions, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's the kind of price that's often thrown around in the world of rare numismatics when discussing coins that are truly one of a kind. While this is fun to think about, for most of us, the value of the 2008 penny is much more modest, likely in the range of $1 to $5 if it's in excellent condition or has a rare minting error. So what should you do if you find a 2008 penny and think it might be worth more than a cent? Here's how you can start your journey as a coin collector. First, carefully examine your coin for any errors. The most common errors to look out for are double dies, where the image is doubled, creating a blurry effect, off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, or missing details. These kinds of mistakes can make the coin more valuable. Next, check the condition of the penny. If the coin looks like it just came from the mint and has no visible wear, it's worth keeping. Coins that are graded as uncirculated or MS-65 or higher by professional graders can command significantly higher prices. And lastly, consider the rarity of your coin. While millions of 2008 pennies were made, coins from certain mints or with particular errors are rarer, and that's where the value increases. If you think you've got something special, you can always take the coin to a professional grading service. They'll assess its condition, grade it, and give you an idea of its potential value. So, while the 2008 penny isn't exactly going to make you an overnight millionaire, there's still a chance you've got a valuable coin in your pocket. Whether it's in mint condition, has a rare error, or comes from a particular mint, your 2008 penny could be worth more than 1 cent. Thanks for watching today's video. Be sure to check your spare change, because you never know, your pennies could be hiding something special. If you've found a rare or valuable coin, share your story in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on more coin tips and valuable discoveries. Until next time, happy hunting. Next. Today we have a truly fascinating topic that's sure to make you take a second look at your spare change. We're diving deep into the 2009 US 1-cent coin, yes, the humble penny, and exploring its unique history, its potential value, and why this coin might just be worth a whole lot more than its face value. In fact, could it be worth millions? Let's find out. Now, most of us wouldn't give a second thought to a penny. After all, it's just 1 cent, right? But what if I told you that the 2009 1-cent coin might just be hiding in plain sight, and could be worth way more than that? Stick around as we explore the history behind this coin, what makes it unique, and how some of these coins could be worth staggering amounts of money. The 1-cent coin, or penny, has been a staple of American currency since 1793, but let's fast forward to 2009. That year was special for the penny because it marked the 200th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. To commemorate this milestone, the U.S. Mint released a special series of pennies with new reverse designs celebrating Lincoln's life and legacy. Instead of the usual shield design that appears on the back of the penny, the 2009 pennies feature a variety of reverse images that tell the story of Lincoln's journey from his humble beginnings to his time in office. But there's something even more exciting about these coins, particularly the ones with certain vintage numbers and rare features. Let's talk about the design itself. The 2009 penny series includes 4 distinct reverse designs, each representing a different phase of Lincoln's life and legacy. First, we have the log cabin design, which symbolizes Lincoln's early years in a log cabin in Kentucky. This design was meant to represent his humble beginnings and the hard-working spirit that led him to the White House. Next, the formative years design shows Lincoln reading a book by candlelight. It's a powerful reminder that Lincoln was largely self-educated, teaching himself the law and politics through books. His thirst for knowledge was unmatched. Then, there's the professional life design, which depicts Lincoln delivering a speech in front of the Illinois State Capitol. This marks the time when he started his legal career and became known for his skills as a lawyer and public speaker. Finally, we have the presidency design, which shows Lincoln in his role as the 16th President of the United States, guiding the nation through its Civil War struggles. It's an image that truly encapsulates his leadership during one of the most tumultuous times in American history. These 4 designs were struck in large numbers, but here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins, especially those in pristine condition, have become highly sought after by collectors. They're not just valuable because of their historical significance, but also because of their rarity and unique characteristics. So, what exactly makes the 2009 penny special in terms of value? Well, as with any coin, there are a few factors that could influence how much it's worth. First, there's the mintage. How many coins were made? The 2009 penny had a relatively high mintage, with billions of these coins produced. So on the surface, you might think they're all just common pennies. But here's the kicker. Not all 2009 pennies are the same. The condition of the coin matters a lot. Coins that are in uncirculated or mint condition, meaning they haven't been worn down from years of being tossed around in pockets, are far more valuable. In fact, a 2009 penny that's still in excellent condition could be worth anywhere from $1 to $5, maybe even more, depending on demand and how well the coin has been preserved. But there's more to it. Certain errors or unique characteristics can cause a 2009 penny to be worth much more. These include things like misprints, double strikes, or off-center errors. A penny with an error in its minting process can sometimes fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Now, you may have seen some crazy headlines claiming that a 2009 penny could be worth $833 million. Yes, you heard that right, $833 million. But before you get too excited, let me break this down. First of all, no, A 2009 penny has not actually been sold for that amount. The $833 million figure is a theoretical value based on extreme conditions. A once-in-a-lifetime auction scenario where a perfect specimen of the 2009 penny, with a rare error or extraordinary provenance, might command an astronomical price. Remember, this is more about the potential of extremely rare pennies in perfect condition that could, in theory, attract the attention of the wealthiest collectors and investors in the world. So, while it's fun to imagine that your penny could be worth millions, don't expect to find that kind of fortune lying in your coin jar anytime soon. But that doesn't mean there isn't real value in these coins. If you've got a 2009 penny with an error or in pristine condition, it could be worth a lot more than 1 cent, just not millions. Yet. So let's say you've found a 2009 penny in your change, and you're wondering whether it's worth more than just 1 cent. What should you do? First, check the coin's condition. If it's shiny and new-looking, it could be an uncirculated coin worth more than face value. Keep it safe. But if it's in rough shape, it's probably just a regular penny. Next, look for any errors. Look for things like double strikes, missing details, or unusual features on the coin. These types of errors can make the coin much more valuable. A misprinted penny with a double die can be worth anywhere from $50 to $500, or even more depending on its rarity and the demand among collectors. If you think your 2009 penny might be valuable, take it to a professional coin grader. A reputable coin grading service can determine the condition of your penny and assign it a grade, which could affect its value in the marketplace. So, while it's unlikely that your 2009 penny is going to make you a millionaire overnight, there's still a chance you could have something valuable on your hands. Whether it's a perfect example or a coin with a rare error, your pennies might be worth more than you think. Thanks for tuning in. If you've got any 2009 pennies lying around, give them a second look. Who knows what treasure you might have? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming coin tips and treasure hunts. And if you've ever found a rare coin or something unusual in your change, share your stories in the comments below. Until next time, happy collecting. Next, in today's video, we're diving into something that might be hiding in your pocket or coin jar right now, the 2000 US 1 cent coin. Yes, it's just a penny, but did you know that some 2000 pennies could actually be worth a lot more than 1 cent? We're talking about millions of dollars, potentially. That's right, this humble penny could hold a huge value, and we're going to explore just how and why. So if you've got any 2000 pennies lying around, you might want to grab them, because you could be holding on to something much more valuable than you think. Let's get started. Now, before we jump straight into how this penny could potentially be worth millions, let's take a moment to explore the history of the 2001 cent coin and why it might be of particular interest to collectors. Let's rewind to the year 2000, a milestone year both in history and in the world of U.S. currency. At the turn of the century, the U.S. Mint was still producing the classic 1 cent coin, commonly known as the penny. The design on the front, or obverse, of the coin continued to feature the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been a staple of the penny since 1909. But the real change came on the reverse side. Since 1959, the penny had shown the Lincoln Memorial. However, in 2000, the U.S. Mint decided to introduce a special commemorative design to mark the new millennium. This special reverse design was part of the State Quarters program, which was hugely popular and highlighted each of the 50 states. The 2000 penny featured a new design that would only appear for 1 year, making it a unique issue in the history of American currency. The reverse of the 2000 penny showcases a beautiful, detailed image of the Union shield, a symbol representing the protection and preservation of the Union. It's a design that was chosen to reflect strength and unity as America entered the 21st century. The Union Shield design replaced the Lincoln Memorial, making the 2000 penny a one-year-only issue. So right away, collectors and numismatists took note. Having a coin with a limited design means it might become more valuable over time. So, we know the 2000 penny has some cool historical significance with that special reverse design. But how do you figure out if your 2000 penny is worth more than its face value? Well, there are a few key factors that can influence its value. Condition of the coin. First and foremost, the condition of the coin is critical. The better the condition, the more valuable it could be. If you have a 2000 penny that looks brand new, shiny, and free from scratches or damage, you're in luck. Coins that are in uncirculated or mint state condition can be worth a lot more than just 1 cent pennies that are in excellent condition may be worth several dollars, especially if they are graded as MS65 or higher. So, if you've got a penny that looks like it just came from the US Mint, hold on to it. It could be worth a pretty penny. Mint mark variations. Next up, let's talk about the mint mark. The 2000 penny was struck at two different mints, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia mint-produced coins don't have a mint mark, while the Denver mint-produced pennies have a small D below the date. The presence or absence of this mint mark can play a role in determining rarity and value. But here's the twist. The 2000 Philadelphia pennies were made in such high quantities that they're not as rare as some other mint marks. However, if you have a penny from a certain mint with unique characteristics, it could be worth more than the regular ones. Special errors and varieties. Now, here's where things get interesting. Error coins. If your 2000 penny has a minting error, it could drastically increase its value. Error coins are always in demand because they're rare, and when collectors see a unique mistake on a coin, they're often willing to pay top dollar for it. Some common errors to look for in the 2000 penny include double dies, where the image is slightly doubled on the coin, off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, or even missing or incomplete details. One of the more valuable varieties of the 2000 penny is the 2000 close AM penny. On the reverse of some 2000 pennies, the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse are closer together than usual. This is considered a rare variety, and if you happen to have one of these close AM pennies, you could be holding on to something worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. Now, let's address the big question that's probably on everyone's mind. Can a 2000 penny really be worth $466 million? Well, as crazy as it sounds, that's the theoretical maximum value we're talking about in an extremely rare, highly specific scenario. Before you start thinking you're about to retire on the profits of your pocket change, let me explain. The $466 million figure is an extremely hypothetical value. In the world of rare coin collecting, sometimes the most unique, flawless, or historically significant coins can fetch prices far beyond anything we'd expect. A coin with perfect condition, a rare minting error, and an extremely low mintage could, in theory, be valued at such an astronomical amount. But, and this is important, this is very unlikely. Coins like the 2000 penny, even if they are rare or in mint condition, usually don't sell for anything near that amount. The $466 million value is purely speculative and serves as an example of just how valuable rare coins can become in certain circumstances, especially if they become part of an intense bidding war among collectors. More realistically, you might find a 2000 penny with a rare error or perfect condition selling for anywhere between $10 to $500, depending on its grade, rarity, and any error or variety it might have. So how do you know if your 2000 penny is valuable? Here's what you need to do. Start by examining the coin's condition. If it's shiny and pristine, it's worth holding on to. If it's worn or has visible damage, it's probably just worth a few cents. Next, check the mint mark. Look below the date to see if it's a D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. While most 2,000 pennies aren't particularly rare in terms of minting location, it's always a good idea to double-check. Then, inspect the reverse side for any signs of error. Look for unusual spacing, misaligned text, or other oddities that might indicate a minting mistake. If you notice any of these features, you could have an error coin that might be worth more than face value. Finally, if you think you've found something special, it's always a good idea to have your coin professionally graded by a trusted service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Grading services can evaluate the coin's condition, authenticity, and rarity, giving you a better idea of its potential market value. So there you have it. The 2000 US 1-cent coin, while often overlooked, has a unique history and the potential to be worth much more than just 1 cent. Whether it's a rare variety, a perfect mint condition piece, or an error coin, your 2000 penny could be hiding a small fortune. Thanks for watching. If you found a valuable 2000 penny or any other rare coin, we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more exciting coin discoveries. Until next time, happy hunting! Next. Hello, coin enthusiasts, and welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wondered if your pocket change could be worth more than just a penny, then you're in for a treat today. We're diving into the history and value of the 1923 US 1-cent coin. Yes, that seemingly humble penny could be worth millions. Stick with me, because today, we'll not only explore the fascinating history of the 1923 penny, but we'll also talk about why it could be worth as much as $28 million. Sounds unbelievable? Well, by the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin might just be hiding a treasure of incredible value. Let's get started. First things first, let's rewind and take a look at the history of the 1923 penny. Why does this particular year of the 1-cent coin carry such significant value? And how did it end up in the hands of collectors all over the world? The 1923 penny is part of the famous wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. The design features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front, and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, the back. This design, created by engraver Victor David Brenner, became an iconic symbol of U.S. coinage for almost half a century. While the design is simple, it carries a lot of historical significance. The coin's production in 1923 falls right between the First World War and the Great Depression, an era of monumental change in the United States. The 1920s was a time of prosperity and optimism, but also a time of change in the nation's economy, politics, and society. The penny struck in 1923 reflects that period, the wheat stalks representing the agricultural roots of the nation and Lincoln, symbolizing unity, leadership, and strength. Now, you might think that the 1923 penny, like most pennies from the early 20th century, would be a fairly common find. But here's where things get interesting. The 1923 penny, especially in high-grade condition, has become a rarity over time, and it's a coin highly sought after by collectors. So what makes the 1923 penny stand out and make it so valuable to collectors today? Well, there are a few key factors that determine the value of this coin. Let's break them down. The coin's condition. First, like any coin, the condition is crucial. The 1923 penny, like many older coins, comes in a variety of grades. The highest grade examples are incredibly rare, and their value skyrockets as a result. If your 1923 penny is in mint or uncirculated condition, it's already worth far more than its face value of just 1 cent. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin that is graded MS65, mint state 65, or higher could sell for thousands of dollars, depending on the market. Some high-end, perfectly preserved 1923 pennies, especially those graded MS67 or better, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The value increases exponentially the closer the coin is to perfect condition. If you have a 1923 penny with little to no signs of wear and crisp details, it could be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. The mint marks. Another important factor that can impact the value of the 1923 penny is the mint mark. The 1923 penny was struck at two different U.S. mint locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Pennies struck in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those struck in Denver have a D mint mark beneath the date. The 1923 penny from the Denver Mint is considered more valuable because it had a lower mintage. Fewer Denver minted pennies were produced compared to those from Philadelphia, which means they are rarer and more sought after by collectors. If you come across a 1923 penny with a D mint mark in good condition, it could be worth more than a penny from Philadelphia. Error coins and varieties. Now, let's talk about error coins. Over the years, some 1923 pennies were struck with errors that make them highly valuable. One common error on older pennies is called a double die, which means the design on the coin is duplicated or misaligned because of a malfunction in the minting process. This makes the coin highly desirable to collectors, especially if the error is clearly visible. Error coins from 1923 can easily fetch a premium price. For example, a double die obverse, where the date or the portrait of Lincoln is doubled, can make your coin exponentially more valuable. These types of rare errors, while not incredibly common, do exist and are highly prized by numismatists. So here comes the big question. Can a 1923 penny really be worth $28 million? The short answer is, it's possible. But let me explain. In the world of rare coins, sometimes the most unexpected coins end up being worth astonishing amounts of money. To reach such a high figure, the coin would have to be in perfect condition, potentially featuring an incredibly rare variety or error, and possibly be part of a famous collection. While most 1923 pennies won't hit this value, the fact is that historically, some of the most rare coins in the world have fetched millions at auction. If a 1923 penny were ever found in pristine condition, or if it featured a particularly rare error, it could theoretically push the value up to millions of dollars. But again, this would be an extraordinary case. Such a sale would be a rarity. Most 1923 pennies in good condition are worth between $100 and $500, while those in near-perfect condition can sell for upwards of $1,000. If you find a high-grade 1923 penny with a rare mint error, its value could jump to tens of thousands of dollars. So while $28 million is an extreme outlier, rare pennies, especially in excellent condition or with unique characteristics, can be incredibly valuable. So how do you know if your 1923 penny is valuable? Here's a quick guide to help you check. First, inspect the coin's condition. Look at the details on both the obverse and the reverse. The sharper and clearer the details, the higher the potential value. A well-preserved 1923 penny with little wear could be worth much more than a worn-down one. Second, check the mint mark. If your penny has a D4 Denver, it could be worth more than one without a mint mark, depending on its condition. Third, look for any errors or varieties. Is there any doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or Lincoln's portrait? Are the wheat stalks or other details misaligned? If you spot something unusual, it could be a valuable error coin. Finally, get your penny professionally graded. A professional grading service, such as PGS or NGC, can provide an accurate assessment of the coin's condition, authenticity, and market value. So there you have it. The 1923 US 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny, but it's actually a valuable piece of American history. Whether it's in pristine condition, has a rare mint error, or is part of a unique variety, your 1923 penny could be worth a lot more than you think. Thanks for watching today's video. If you've ever found a 1923 penny or any other rare coin, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future coin discoveries. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck with your coin collection. Next, if you're like me, you probably have a bunch of pennies lying around in your drawers, piggy banks, or couch cushions. But what if I told you that some of those pennies could actually be worth much more than just 1 cent? Today, we're diving into the 2005 US 1 cent coin, a penny that might just be hiding a massive potential value. In fact, could it be worth up to $280 million? Stick around to find out. Now, most people don't give much thought to a penny. It's small, it's copper-colored, and it's often tossed aside. But when it comes to coin collecting, some pennies, especially certain years, can hold significant value. And today, we're focusing on the 2005 penny. Is it a rare collector's item? Could it be worth millions of dollars? Let's dive into its history and find out why this particular coin might just be a hidden gem. First, let's set the stage. The U.S. Mint has been producing pennies for over 2 centuries, and the 2005 1 cent coin was part of the larger set of coins produced during President George W. Bush's administration. However, the 2005 penny wasn't just a regular penny. It was part of a series of commemorative coins designed to mark the 200th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. As part of this special commemoration, the U.S. Mint released a new reverse design for the penny, featuring 4 different designs to reflect key moments from Lincoln's life. This made the 2005 penny particularly interesting to collectors, as it marked a historical shift in the design of this iconic coin. The 2005 penny series featured 4 different reverse designs, each one focusing on a different chapter of Lincoln's life. Let's take a closer look at these designs and their significance. The first reverse design, called the birthplace design, shows a log cabin that symbolizes Lincoln's humble beginnings in Kentucky. This image reflects the struggles Lincoln faced growing up, often in poverty, and highlights the values of hard work and perseverance. Next, we have the formative years design, which depicts a young Lincoln reading a book by candlelight. This design is a nod to his self-education, showing how Lincoln, with very little formal schooling, taught himself the skills that would eventually lead him to become a lawyer and politician. Then, there's the professional life design, showing Lincoln delivering a speech in front of the Illinois State Capitol. This marks the period when Lincoln started his political career, gaining national recognition for his speeches and legal career. Finally, the last design, presidency, features Lincoln in his iconic stovepipe hat, reflecting his time as president during the Civil War. This design is a tribute to his leadership and his role in preserving the Union. These 4 reverse designs were incredibly symbolic, honoring Lincoln's journey from a poor boy to one of the most influential presidents in U.S. history. But while these coins were widely produced, let's explore why some of them might be worth more than just their face value. So why would a 2005 penny be worth more than its face value? Let's talk about a few factors that come into play when determining the value of a coin. First, we have mintage numbers. The 2005 pennies weren't produced in limited numbers, but they were produced in varied quantities across different mints. The U.S. Mint produced the 2005 pennies at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and some coins were produced in larger numbers than others. This affects how rare the coins are, especially in pristine condition. Speaking of condition, this brings us to coin grading. The value of a coin is heavily dependent on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from good to mint state. If you have a 2005 penny in excellent condition, it could be worth more than a penny, especially if it's uncirculated and hasn't been worn down by time and use. But here's where things get really interesting. If you happen to find a 2005 penny with a minting error, that's when things can get really exciting. Coins with mistakes in the minting process, such as double strikes, misprints, or off-center strikes, are much rarer, and collectors pay a premium for these error coins. Now, let's address the $280 million question that has probably brought you here. Could a 2005 penny really be worth $280 million? The answer, in short, is unlikely, but not entirely out of the question. Let me explain. The figure of $280 million is a theoretical value based on extremely rare conditions. We're talking about a perfectly preserved, extremely rare penny with an exceptional minting error. Such a penny would have to be one of a kind, possibly linked to historical significance, and in flawless condition, something that could cause a massive bidding war among the world's wealthiest collectors. Now, while number 2005 penny has ever been sold for this amount, it does give us an idea of how theoretical values work in the world of rare coins. Imagine a coin that's nearly perfect, with a rare minting mistake and historical importance. That's where the $280 million figure comes from. It's a what-if scenario in the world of numismatics, but it's a reminder that some coins, when extremely rare and unique, can reach astronomical prices. So what should you do if you think you've found a valuable 2005 penny? First things first, don't panic. There's a process. First, make sure you handle the coin carefully. Coins with errors or in mint condition need to be protected. Use gloves when handling your coins to avoid transferring oils from your fingers that could damage the surface. Next, inspect the coin carefully. Look for any irregularities, such as double strikes, missing letters, or other minting defects. If the coin seems to be in perfect condition, and you think it might be rare, it's a good idea to take it to a professional coin grading service. A professional grading service will evaluate the coin's condition and assign it a grade, which is crucial when determining its value. If the coin is graded highly and has a rare minting error, you could be looking at a significant payout. While most 2005 pennies won't make you a millionaire, there's still a chance that yours could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Whether it's in mint condition, features a rare error, or simply has historical significance, some 2005 pennies are highly coveted by collectors. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to check your loose change, and if you have any 2005 pennies, give them a closer look. You never know what treasure might be hiding in your pocket. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more awesome coin tips and rare finds. And drop a comment if you found a valuable coin. Let's chat about it. Next. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel. If you're one of those people who keeps a close eye on every penny in your collection, today's video will definitely get you excited. We're talking about the 1927 US 1 cent coin, and if you think it's just another penny, think again. Some 1927 pennies are worth big money, as much as $388 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. Today, we'll dive into the history of this coin, explain why some of these pennies can be worth such staggering amounts, and give you the tips on how to find the most valuable ones. Stick around because this is going to be an exciting journey. Let's start with some basic history about the 1927 penny to understand why this specific year is so important. If you're into coin collecting, you probably know that the 1927 1 cent coin is part of the Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. The penny features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, while the reverse side depicts 2 stalks of wheat. These coins are beloved by collectors, and the 1927 version is no exception. But what makes it so special? Well, that's what we're going to uncover. The story of the 1927 penny begins during a pivotal period in American history. The 1920s were a time of great economic prosperity, often referred to as the Roaring Twenties. It was a decade marked by innovation, cultural change, and the build-up to the Great Depression. People were spending money more freely, and the economy was booming. The U.S. Mint was cranking out coins to keep up with the demand. The wheat penny, which first appeared in 1909, was one of the most widely circulated coins in America. In 1927, the country was recovering from the aftermath of World War I, and the Great Depression was still a few years away. This coin, like many others, represented a time of relative stability and optimism. But as time passed, the number of 1,927 pennies in circulation began to dwindle, and as the years went by, these coins became harder and harder to find in good condition. The 1927 penny's design, like other wheat pennies, remained unchanged during its production. The obverse side featured the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by engraver Victor David Brenner, and the reverse depicted 2 ears of wheat. This simple but elegant design captured the essence of America's agricultural roots and the importance of Lincoln in U.S. history. The coin became a staple in everyday transactions, but its true value wouldn't become apparent until many decades later. Now let's talk about the big question: why is the 1927 penny worth so much more than its face value? Well, there are several factors that can influence the value of a 1927 penny, and some of them can make this coin worth millions. 1. Coin condition. It's all about the grade. As with all collectible coins, the condition of the 1927 penny is crucial when determining its value. Coins are graded based on their appearance and preservation. The grading scale goes from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A coin in mint state or uncirculated condition can be worth significantly more than a worn or damaged penny. Most of the 1927 pennies in circulation today show signs of wear, which means they aren't worth much more than face value. However, if you happen to find a 1927 penny in exceptional condition, say, a grade of MS65 or higher, you could be holding on to a coin worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Coins graded MS67 or better, in pristine condition, can fetch extremely high prices. Mint mark and rarity. Another important factor that determines the value of the 1927 penny is the mint mark. The 1927 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and coins from Philadelphia typically do not have a mint mark. However, the rarity of the coin doesn't lie solely in the mint mark. It lies in the coin's overall rarity and condition. The mintage for the 1927 penny was substantial, but in the decades that followed, the majority of these pennies became heavily worn or lost. Finding a well-preserved 1927 penny, especially from a specific mint or in excellent condition, can make it stand out from the others and increase its value. The role of errors. Rare coins with defects. Sometimes, coins are struck with errors, whether it's a double die, misalignment, or other minting mistakes. These types of errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin. If you're lucky enough to find a 1927 penny with an error, such as a double die obverse or a misstruck coin, its value can increase exponentially. Some of the rarest and most valuable coins on the market today are error coins. One example could be a 1927 penny with a clear doubling of the date or lettering, which would make it incredibly rare and valuable to collectors. Errors like these are highly sought after and can be worth much more than their face value. Now, let's tackle the question everyone's been asking. Can a 1927 penny really be worth $388 million? Well, while it sounds unbelievable, the reality is that it could happen under the right circumstances. In the world of rare coin collecting, the value of a coin can soar when it is in impeccable condition, has a unique error, or is part of a famous collection. The $388 million figure might seem astronomical, but historically, Some coins have reached incredible prices at auction, especially if they are one of a kind, airstruck, or come from a rare collection. However, it's important to keep in mind that not every 1927 penny will ever reach this value. In fact, the majority of them will likely only be worth a few dollars, depending on their condition. But if you find a rare variety or an error coin, particularly in perfect condition, you could be holding something truly priceless. It's not likely that we'll see a $388 million 1927 penny anytime soon, but coins from this era have been known to fetch astronomical prices when they hit the market. Now that we know what makes the 1927 penny valuable, how can you tell if your coin is worth more than just 1 cent? Let's go over a few simple steps. First, inspect the coin's condition. A coin with little wear, with its details clearly visible and not worn down, is worth more than a heavily circulated one. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Next, look for any errors or varieties. Does your 1927 penny have a double date or misalignment? Look closely for any abnormalities, as they could indicate a rare error that could increase the coin's value. Finally, check for the mint mark. While the 1927 penny from Philadelphia doesn't have a mint mark, knowing this can help you identify the coin correctly. A penny from another mint would be marked with a letter, D for Denver, for example. Once you've inspected your penny, consider having it professionally graded. A grading service such as PeaceGS or NGC can give your coin an official grade and estimate its market value. If your penny is indeed valuable, it's worth the investment to get it graded. So, there you have it. The 1927 US 1 cent coin is much more than just a piece of change. Whether it's the condition, the minting errors, or its rarity, this penny has the potential to be worth far more than just 1 cent. While not every 1927 penny will be worth $388 million, there's always the possibility of finding one that could change your life. So, check your collection, and maybe you'll discover something worth a fortune. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found a 1927 penny or any other rare coin, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future coin discoveries. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck with your coin collection. Next. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered if that penny you've got lying around could be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, today, we're going to talk about a coin that might just surprise you. The 2006 US 1 cent coin. It's a coin that you probably wouldn't think much about, but it could actually be worth a whole lot more than you think, millions of dollars. Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into the value, history, and the potential of the 2006 penny. Let's get started. Now, you might be asking, what makes the 2006 penny so special? It's just a penny, right? Well, just like any coin in circulation, the value of a penny can vary greatly depending on certain factors. Some 2006 pennies can actually be worth a lot more than their face value, and in rare cases, they could be worth big money. We're talking about a potential worth of $220 million. Sounds unbelievable? Well, stay with me because we're about to break it all down. Let's take a step back and look at the history of the 2006 penny. The US 1 cent coin has been in circulation since 1793, but the design on this particular coin, the 2006 penny, holds a lot of significance. By 2006, the penny was still showing the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been in place since 1909. But what really made the 2006 penny stand out was the special design on the reverse, or back, of the coin. In 2006, the U.S. Mint was in the middle of transitioning its penny designs to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The year before, in 2005, the Mint began releasing a series of new reverse designs celebrating different aspects of Lincoln's life. These designs, known as the Presidential Cent series, replaced the traditional Lincoln Memorial design that had been on the reverse since 1959. Now, the 2006 penny features the second design in the series, which shows a view of the Lincoln log cabin, symbolizing Lincoln's early life growing up in a log cabin in Kentucky. This design was part of the series' effort to tell the story of Lincoln's humble beginnings and eventual rise to becoming one of America's most beloved presidents. It's a design with strong historical significance, and it's a key reason why collectors are particularly interested in the 2006 penny. So why could the 2006 penny be worth much more than just its 1 cent face value? Well, like with any coin, the value depends on several factors. Let's take a closer look at what can make a 2006 penny special. Condition of the coin. One of the biggest factors that influence the value of any coin is its condition. We've all heard the saying condition is everything when it comes to collecting. The same applies to the 2006 penny. If you have a penny that looks like it just came out of a fresh roll and hasn't been circulated, it could be worth far more than a penny you find in your change. A 2006 penny in mint condition, or what we call an uncirculated coin, could be worth several dollars or more, depending on the grade. Coins are graded based on their appearance, and those in excellent condition receive a higher grade and, therefore, more value. If your 2006 penny is graded as a MS-65, mint state, it could fetch around $10 or more. But if it's graded as MS-67 or higher, the value could go up significantly. Mint mark variations. Next, we have the mint mark. The 2006 penny was produced at two different U.S. mint facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia Mint's pennies don't have a mint mark, while the Denver Mint's coins have a small D under the date. While both are common, some collectors will pay more for pennies from certain mints based on the rarity of production and any differences in quality. Additionally, the 2006 pennies from certain mints are less common than others, so finding a rare mint mark could increase the coin's value. Rare error coins. Now here's where things get really interesting. Error coins. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of a coin. If a 2006 penny has an error, it can increase its value significantly, especially if the error is rare and unique. Common errors include double dies, where the design appears to be doubled, off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned, or die cracks, which leave unusual lines on the coin. One of the most valuable error types for the 2006 penny is the double die reverse error, where the design on the reverse of the penny is doubled. This error is particularly sought after by collectors, and if you happen to find one of these, it could be worth much more than just a penny. Alright, let's get to the big question. Could a 2006 penny really be worth $220 million? While it sounds like an unbelievable amount of money, it's important to understand how rare coins are valued in the numismatic world. The $220 million figure is a theoretical value based on the potential rarity and desirability of a truly perfect coin. If, for instance, a 2006 penny were found to have a one-of-a-kind minting error, combined with perfect condition and an extremely low mintage, it could, in theory, be valued at a record price. This is the type of number you might see in high-stakes auctions for exceptionally rare coins. However, it's important to note that such an astronomical figure is an extreme outlier. Most 2006 pennies are worth far less, typically a few dollars if they're in uncirculated condition or if they feature a minor error. The $220 million figure is more of a theoretical maximum rather than a realistic price for any known 2006 penny. In reality, even a rare error coin, like the double die or off-center strikes, might fetch anywhere from a few $100s to a few thousand. but the idea of it being worth $220 million serves as a reminder of just how valuable rare coins can be. Now that you know what to look for, how do you check if your 2006 penny is valuable? Here's a quick guide. First, take a look at the coin's condition. If it's shiny and looks brand new, it might be worth more than a regular penny. Look for any signs of wear and tear. The less worn out your penny is, the better. Second, check the mint mark. If your 2006 penny has a D4 Denver or no mint mark at all, you'll want to make a note of that. Certain mint marks are rarer and may fetch a higher price. Next, inspect the coin for errors. Look for doubling on the design or unusual misprints. If you find anything unusual, it's worth researching or consulting with a professional to determine if it's a valuable error. Finally, if you think you've got a rare find, get it professionally graded. Grading services can give you an accurate idea of its value and authenticity. Popular grading services include PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. So there you have it. The 2006 US 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny, but it's actually a coin with a lot of potential. Whether it's in mint condition, has a rare mint mark, or features a unique error, your 2006 penny could be worth much more than you think. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found a valuable 2006 penny or any other rare coin, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future coin hunting adventures. Until next time, happy collecting. Next. Hey, coin enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel. If you're one of those people who loves to dig through old change or search through your coin collection for hidden treasures, you're going to want to stick around for today's video. We're talking about the 1929 US 1-cent coin, a penny that might just be sitting in your collection worth far more than just a cent. We're talking about the possibility of millions. Today, we'll explore the fascinating history of this coin and explain why it can be worth up to $384 million. Yes, you heard that right, $384 million. So let's jump right in and learn why the 1929 D penny is a collector's dream. First, let's take a look at the history behind this penny. What makes the 1929 D 1-cent coin so special, and why is it worth so much? Well, this penny comes from the famous wheat penny series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. It features the iconic design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, created by engraver Victor David Brenner, and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse. The wheat penny was a staple of American currency for decades, and its design has become one of the most beloved in U.S. numismatic history. But in 1929, something special happened in the world of pennies. The 1929 D penny is one of the rarer coins in the wheat penny series, and it's particularly sought after by collectors. While the coin was originally meant to circulate at face value, its scarcity and the unique features make it a hidden treasure today. To fully understand why the 1929 D penny is worth so much today, we need to travel back in time to the late 1920s. The United States was in a period of economic growth, known as the Roaring Twenties, which was marked by technological advancements, the rise of the automobile industry, and the booming stock market. But in 1929, the stock market crashed, and the Great Depression began, affecting the economy for years to come. During this time, the U.S. Mint continued to produce pennies as part of regular circulation. The 1929 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and this minting was significant because, like many coins from the era, it had a much smaller mintage than other years. In fact, only about 74 million 1929 D pennies were produced, which is relatively low compared to other years in the wheat penny series. While the coin was originally produced for everyday use, it quickly became less common as time passed. Many of these pennies were used, worn down, or lost over the years, making high-grade examples more scarce. Today, finding a well-preserved 1929 D penny is like striking gold, and the rarity of the coin contributes to its massive value on the market. So, what exactly makes the 1929 D penny worth so much money? There are a few key factors that come into play when determining the value of a coin like this. Condition of the coin. The number one factor that drives up the value of a 1929 D penny is its condition. A coin in mint state, meaning it has been preserved without much wear, can fetch a much higher price than one that is worn down. A coin's condition is determined by a grading scale, with coins graded on a scale of 1 to 70. Coins that fall into the mint state category are much rarer than those that are heavily circulated. If you have a 1929 D penny that is graded MS65 or higher, it could be worth thousands of dollars, if not more. However, finding one in mint state is incredibly rare, which is why these high-grade coins are highly sought after by collectors. In fact, a 1929 D penny in perfect condition could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars. Rarity of the coin. Another factor that adds to the value of the 1929 D penny is its rarity. While the mint produced a decent number of 1929 D pennies, 74 million to be exact, many of those coins were lost or heavily circulated, leaving only a few remaining in excellent condition. The rarity of the coin plays a huge role in its value, and collectors are always on the lookout for these hard-to-find examples. Because the 1929 D penny was part of an era when coinage was more widely used and less carefully preserved, finding a high-quality example can be extremely difficult. If you happen to come across one, you may be holding a rare gem. Mint mark. One of the most distinguishing features of the 1929 penny is the D mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. This mint mark indicates that the penny was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint is known for producing coins with higher quality, and the 1929 D penny is no exception. Coins from the Denver Mint are typically rarer and often more valuable than those from other mints, which makes the 1929 D particularly desirable. Now, we come to the most exciting question of all. Can a 1929 D penny really be worth $384 million? While it may sound unbelievable, the reality is that certain rare coins have fetched eye-popping sums of money at auction. Historically, coins from the 1920s and earlier have sold for millions, especially if they're in pristine condition or have unique characteristics. For instance, rare error coins, mint mistakes, and coins from limited mintage years can often exceed expectations and sell for astronomical amounts. While not every 1929 D penny will hit such heights, coins from this era in perfect condition, especially those with rare characteristics or historical significance, can fetch millions at auction. To put things into perspective, a 1929 D penny in mint state with a rare error, such as a double die or an off-center strike, could fetch a fortune at auction. If the coin is in perfect condition, it could potentially reach values close to $384 million, though it's an extreme outlier. Coins like these can set records when they hit the right collector's hands. However, most 1929 D pennies won't reach this incredible amount. Coins in average condition typically go for hundreds of dollars, while those in excellent condition can easily sell for tens of thousands. But the chance of finding an extremely rare and valuable 1929 D penny in your collection is always there. Now that you know why the 1929 D penny can be so valuable, let's talk about how you can check if your coin is worth more than just 1 cent. Here are a few things to look for when inspecting your 1929 D penny. Condition. Look at the condition of the coin. Is it well preserved with clear, sharp details? Coins in higher grades are worth more. Use a magnifying glass to check for signs of wear or damage. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it can be. Mint mark. Check the mint mark. The 1929 D penny comes from the Denver Mint, so it should have a clear D mint mark on the reverse side. This mint mark is a key indicator of the coin's value. Look for errors. Look closely for any error coins. Sometimes, coins are struck incorrectly at the mint, and these mistakes can add significant value. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing details are highly desirable to collectors. Get it graded. Once you've inspected the coin, consider having it professionally graded. A coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can provide you with an official assessment of the coin's condition and value. This step is crucial if you want to sell or insure your coin. So there you have it. The 1929 D penny might look like just another coin, but in reality, it could be worth far more than you think. Whether it's the condition, the rarity, or a rare mint error, the 1929 D penny is a coin with serious value potential. If you happen to find one in your collection, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. Thanks for tuning in today. If you've ever come across a 1929 D penny or any other rare coins, drop a comment below and let us know your story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated with all things coin collecting. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck with your coin collection. Next. Hey, coin enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got something truly exciting to talk about. A coin you probably have lying around somewhere. The 1988 US 1-cent coin. Now, we all know that pennies are often just pennies, right? But what if I told you that this 1988 penny could actually be worth a lot more than just 1 cent? Could it really be worth millions? Stick around to find out, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Alright, let's dive into it. You might be asking, what makes the 1988 penny so special? After all, it's just a standard penny, right? Well, you're about to discover that there's more to this coin than meets the eye. The 1988 1-cent coin holds an interesting place in U.S. coin history, and in some cases, it could be worth far more than its face value. And trust me, when I say it could potentially be worth up to $213 million, you won't want to miss the details. Let's start by taking a look at its history. First, let's go back in time to 1988. This was the year when the 1988 1-cent coin was produced, and it marked a time of relative stability for U.S. currency. The design of the penny hadn't changed for decades. It still featured the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which had been on the obverse, or front, of the penny since 1909. That's almost 80 years of the same design. But it wasn't just about continuity. This particular year, 1988, had a special significance for coin collectors. At this time, the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies as part of the regular circulation. The reverse, or back, of the coin still featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in place since 1959. In fact, 1988 was one of the last years the penny would feature this reverse before the U.S. Mint started switching up the designs in 2009 to commemorate Lincoln's 200th birthday. So why does this 1988 penny matter so much? To answer that, we need to dive into why this coin is still sought after by collectors, and why certain 1988 pennies could be worth so much. Okay, so what makes this coin worth more than just a penny? Like with any coin, a variety of factors contribute to a penny's value. Let's break them down one by one. Condition of the coin. First and foremost, the condition of the penny plays a huge role. If you've ever seen a coin that looks brand new, you know that it's a lot more valuable than one that's been through the ringer. The same goes for the 1988 penny. If your coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it's never been used in everyday transactions, it can be worth significantly more than a typical worn-out penny. A 1988 penny in mint state condition could be worth several dollars. So, if you find one that looks almost like it just came off the press, That's a keeper. Mint mark variations. Second, we have the mint mark. If you look closely at the 1988 penny, you'll see a tiny letter right below the date. This letter indicates where the coin was made. The 1988 penny could have come from either the Philadelphia Mint, which doesn't use a mint mark, or the Denver Mint, which has a small D on the coin. Coins from certain mints can be rarer than others, and some collectors specifically seek out coins from particular locations. If you find a rare 1988 penny with a mint mark in exceptional condition, it could fetch a higher price. Error coins. Now, this is where things start to get really interesting. Minting errors. If you happen to have a 1988 penny that has some sort of error, whether it's a double die, off-center strike, or any other anomaly, this coin could be worth a small fortune. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are rare, and they're often considered to be one-of-a-kind pieces. If you think your 1988 penny has an unusual characteristic, it might just be an error coin, and if that's the case, you could be looking at a valuable find. Now, we get to the big question. Could a 1988 penny really be worth $213 million? That's a number that might seem absolutely unbelievable. After all, how could a penny, something most people toss aside without a second thought, be worth that much? Well, let me break it down. The $213 million figure is a theoretical value. It's not the price a typical 1988 penny will fetch at an auction or a coin shop. But here's the thing. In the world of rare coins, the value of an item is often determined by rarity, demand, and the condition of the coin. So, in an extremely rare case, a flawless 1988 penny with an extraordinary minting error, combined with historical significance, could theoretically be worth millions. If the coin were to be in perfect condition and have a rare, unrepeatable error, it could lead to a bidding war among wealthy collectors, driving the price up to outrageous heights. However, let's be clear. The $213 million is the kind of number you might see in theoretical scenarios where the coin is one of a kind. It's not likely that any 1988 penny has actually sold for this amount, but this number serves as a reminder that anything is possible in the world of coin collecting, especially when it comes to error coins and rare pieces. So now you know that there's a chance your 1988 penny could be worth much more than its face value. But how do you know if your coin is worth anything? Here are a few tips to get you started. First, check the condition of the coin. If it looks well worn, it's probably only worth a few cents. But if it looks uncirculated or almost brand new, hold on to it. It might be worth more. Next, take a close look at the mint mark. If it has a D4 Denver or no mint mark at all, it's worth checking with a professional to see if it could be rarer. Then, look for any obvious errors. Look for doubled images, misprints, or off-center strikes that could make the coin stand out from a regular penny. If you think your 1988 penny might be valuable, your next step is to get it professionally graded. A graded coin from a recognized service can help determine its true value and rarity. So, there you have it. The 1988 penny might just be more valuable than you think. While it might not reach $213 million anytime soon, certain 1988 pennies could still be worth a lot more than face value, especially if they're in great condition or have a minting error. It's always worth taking a closer look at your spare change, because you never know what hidden treasures might be waiting for you. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found a valuable 1988 penny or any rare coin, let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more coin tips, coin hunting, and all things numismatic. Until next time, happy coin hunting! Next, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. If you're into coins, then you're in for a real treat today. We're talking about one of the most iconic and valuable pennies in U.S. history, the 1917 1-cent coin. You might think it's just another penny, but when you look deeper, you'll realize that this little coin can be worth big money, and I mean millions. Stay tuned, because in this video, we'll explore the fascinating history of the 1917 penny, how it became so valuable, and why some of these pennies are worth as much as $70 million. Yes, you heard that right, $70 million. Let's dive into the details. Before we get to the jaw-dropping value of some 1917 pennies, let's first take a look at the history of this coin and why it's so significant in the world of numismatics. The story of the 1917 penny starts more than a century ago. The U.S. Mint had been producing pennies for over a century, but the design on the coin was about to undergo a significant change. By 1909, the U.S. Mint decided to mark the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth with a new design, a design that would be featured on the penny for over a century. Since 1909, the penny has showcased a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, the front. But by 1917, the reverse design was still showing the classic wheat ears that had been featured since 1909, which became known as the wheat penny. This design would remain until 1958, making the 1917 wheat penny one of the more recognizable and beloved coins in U.S. history. At the time, the United States was in the midst of World War I, and the coin's design, the wheat ears on the back, symbolized America's agricultural strength. The 1917 penny is especially significant because it represents a unique time in American history. The coin is over a century old, and it stands as a reminder of the nation's involvement in World War I and the challenges the country was facing during that time. Now, you might be wondering, what makes a 1917 penny worth more than its face value? After all, pennies are typically not worth much more than a cent, right? Well, that's where things get interesting. There are a few reasons why some 1917 pennies can be worth much more than just 1 cent. The coin's condition. First and foremost, the condition of the coin is a major factor in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 based on their appearance. A coin in mint condition or uncirculated state will always fetch more than one in poor condition. If you have a 1917 penny that has been well preserved, with little to no wear and tear, it could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Coins in mint state condition are highly prized by collectors. If you have a 1917 penny graded as MS65 or higher, the value could soar. Coins that are perfectly preserved and have little to no signs of circulation can fetch prices in the range of $1,000 to $10,000, depending on the grade. The rarer the grade, the higher the value. Mint mark variations. Next, let's talk about mint marks. The 1917 penny was struck at two different mints, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia Mint-produced coins don't have a mint mark, while the Denver Mint-produced coins have a small D mint mark beneath the date. While both mint marks are relatively common, the value can vary based on which mint the coin came from. For example, coins from the Philadelphia Mint are generally more abundant, so they aren't as rare as those from the Denver Mint. But when it comes to certain rare varieties of the 1917 penny, the mint mark plays a key role in determining value. Key varieties and errors. Here's where things get exciting. Rare varieties and errors. Over the years, many 1917 pennies were struck with certain characteristics that make them more valuable. Some of the most coveted varieties include the 1917 double die obverse penny. In this variety, the date on the obverse, the front of the coin, is doubled. This doubling effect is the result of a minting error, and it's one of the most famous errors in coin collecting history. Imagine a penny where the date on the front is duplicated or misaligned. These types of errors are highly prized by collectors because of their rarity. A 1917 double die obverse penny in high condition can be worth thousands of dollars, and in some cases, even more. If you're lucky enough to find one of these, you could be holding a small fortune. Now let's get to the big question. Could a 1917 penny really be worth $70 million? As incredible as that number sounds, the answer is yes, but with a few big caveats. To put this into perspective, $70 million would be an extremely rare, hypothetical scenario for a 1917 penny, and it would only apply to an extremely rare example of this coin. The world of rare coins is filled with astronomical prices, especially when a coin is perfect, has a very rare error, or is part of a famous collection. In fact, some of the most famous coins in the world have sold for millions of dollars, like the 1933 Double Eagle Gold coin or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. While $70 million is a theoretical price that could be reached by an incredibly rare, flawless 1917 penny, the reality is that most 1917 pennies will never approach such a price. However, this doesn't mean they're not valuable. A well-preserved 1917 penny with a double die or another rare error could sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and even a high-grade, regular 1917 penny could easily go for over $10,000. So how do you know if your 1917 penny is valuable? Here's a step-by-step guide to help you figure it out. First, look at the condition of the coin. If your 1917 penny looks shiny and well-preserved, it could be worth more than just 1 cent. If the coin shows signs of heavy wear or corrosion, its value will be lower, but it can still be worth something to collectors. Next, check the mint mark. Is there a D below the date for Denver, or does it have no mint mark for Philadelphia? Keep in mind that the value can vary slightly depending on the mint. Then, inspect the coin for any errors or varieties. Is there doubling on the date or any unusual features? If you notice anything that seems odd, it could be a minting error, and these coins can be very valuable. Finally, if you think you have something special, consider getting it professionally graded. A professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC, can evaluate the condition and authenticity of your coin and give you a better idea of its market value. So there you have it. The 1917 US 1-cent coin is much more than just a penny. It's a piece of American history with the potential to be worth big money. Whether it's in mint condition, has a rare error, or is part of a special variety, the 1917 penny could be worth a small fortune. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found a 1917 penny or any other rare coin, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more exciting coin discoveries. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck with your coin collection. Last, coin enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, today's video is going to be a real treat for you. We're talking about the 1932 US 1-cent coin. Yes, this little penny might just be worth way more than you think. We're talking about millions of dollars. In fact, some 1932 pennies can be worth up to $358 million. So, stick around as we dive into the history, rarity, and value of the 1932 penny. You won't want to miss this one. So, what makes the 1932 US 1-cent coin stand out? Why would this coin be worth millions instead of just a single cent? Well, the history behind this penny, along with its unique characteristics, plays a major role in its value. And if you're a coin collector, or just curious about what might be hiding in your own pocket change, you're in the right place. Let's start with the history. The 1932 penny was minted during a very challenging time in the United States. It was the early days of the Great Depression, a period of severe economic hardship that began in 1929 and affected the entire world for years. In the midst of the economic turmoil, the U.S. Mint was still producing coins, including the famous wheat penny, which was in circulation at the time. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse. The design was originally introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it remained in circulation until 1958. The 1932 penny is part of that iconic wheat series, but what makes it so special? Let's take a closer look at why this particular year stands out. During 1932, the United States Mint was dealing with some issues in terms of coin production. The number of pennies being minted dropped significantly compared to other years in the 1930s. The 1932 penny saw lower mintage numbers, which means fewer of these coins were produced compared to other years in the wheat penny series. As a result, high-quality 1932 pennies have become more difficult to find, and that scarcity is what drives their value today. Now let's talk about the big question. Why is the 1932 penny worth so much money? The answer lies in several key factors, including its condition, rarity, and historical significance. Let's break it down. Condition is everything. As with most collectible coins, the condition of the 1932 penny is a major factor that affects its value. Coins that have been well preserved, free from heavy wear and tear, are worth much more than those that are heavily circulated. The grading scale for coins ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A 1932 penny in perfect condition, or even one in near perfect condition, can fetch a higher price than a heavily worn example. Let's say you have a 1932 penny that is graded as MS65 or higher, meaning it is well preserved and doesn't show signs of heavy wear. These coins are much rarer and more valuable than those in lower grades. A penny in mint state could potentially be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. Rarity and low mintage. Another factor that plays into the high value of the 1932 penny is its rarity. The total mintage for the 1932 one-cent coin is relatively low, especially compared to other years in the wheat penny series. In fact, only around 60 million 1932 pennies were struck by the U.S. Mint. When you compare that to the hundreds of millions of pennies struck in other years, you can see why the 1932 penny is considered a rare find today. Coins that were produced in limited quantities are always more desirable to collectors, and the 1932 penny is no exception. As time went on, the majority of these pennies became worn, lost, or melted down, so finding a high-quality 1932 penny is a rare and exciting discovery. Mint errors and special varieties. Like many coins, the 1932 penny was sometimes struck with errors during the minting process. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are unique and often much rarer than regular coins. If you happen to find a 1932 penny with an error, such as a double die, a misstruck coin, or a flaw in the design, it could be worth a significant amount of money. Some of the most valuable 1932 pennies are those that have been struck with mint errors. For example, if the coin was misaligned or if the date is printed incorrectly, it could add thousands of dollars to its value. Error coins are often considered to be some of the most desirable items in the coin collecting world. Now let's get to the big question. Can a 1932 penny really be worth $358 million? While that might sound unbelievable, the truth is that coins have sold for incredible amounts of money at auction in the past. When it comes to rare, high-grade, or error-struck coins, the price can soar to extraordinary levels. While it's extremely rare for a 1932 penny to reach a value anywhere near $358 million, it's not impossible. This number represents the upper extreme of what some rare coins, especially those with error varieties or in mint condition, can be worth. If a 1932 penny were to surface with an incredibly rare error, or if it were in perfect condition and part of a famous collection, it could fetch a record price at auction. However, It's important to keep in mind that most 1932 pennies won't come close to this amount. Most of them will only be worth a few dollars or perhaps a few $100 depending on their condition. But the potential for finding a rare, high-value 1932 penny is always there. So how can you tell if your 1932 penny is valuable? Here are a few tips to help you check its worth. Inspect the condition. Look at your 1932 penny and check for wear. Is it in great shape with minimal damage? Does it still have visible details, or is it worn down? The better the condition, the higher the potential value. Take the coin and look at it under good lighting. A magnifying glass or loupe will help you get a closer look at the details of the coin. If the coin is nearly uncirculated or in mint state, that's a good sign that it could be valuable. Check for mint errors. Next, inspect the coin for any minting errors. Look for signs of doubling in the date or letters, off-center strikes, or any other flaws that would make the coin a rare error. These kinds of mistakes are highly collectible and can significantly increase the value of the coin. Get the coin graded. If you suspect that your 1932 penny might be valuable, it's worth getting it professionally graded by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grader will assign your coin a grade based on its condition, and this will help determine its true market value. So there you have it. The 1932 US 1-cent coin is more than just another penny in your collection. It's a piece of history with the potential to be worth far more than you'd expect. Whether it's the rarity, the condition, or a minting error, the 1932 penny can be a serious treasure for collectors. Thanks for watching today's video. If you've ever found a 1932 penny or any other rare coins, drop a comment below and tell us about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on future coin collecting content. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck with your collection.